Hello everybody, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to do a quick sketch of a person hanging from a surface, but shown from a perspective. So we're going to set our perspective points, and as you see on the screen, I'm going to set up a sort of a wall that is coming upward toward us, and of course it will be larger in size at the closest angle or the viewpoint, and smallest as the viewpoint goes farther. Then we begin setting out the character framework, and essentially we are showing two hands which are in a perspective format, and in a foreshortening and perspective blend, we are showing the hands at a very enlarged angle, and they are the ones that are grasping the edge of the wall or the surface, and then going backward as I'm putting down those coils for the musculature of this particular person or this particular character. You see that's the head, the shoulder set that we've just put in, and we'll start putting in some pen sketch around the framework for the important components from this point on. We'll start fleshing out the hand as I'm doing here. Now of course you do not have to exactly follow, but you can put on your own realistic or more cartoonized version of the hand. But either way, just a hand that is shown as acceptable enough to be in the foreground and grasping the top of the surface. So I'm showing it from a foreshortened angle here as I'm going finger by finger, putting in the basic anatomy of a rugged and tough enough hand that is supporting the weight of the body from this particular surface. And then I keep on drawing backward from that hand in the foreshortening angle, and I'm going into the forearm, and then into the middle portion of the arm, the bicep portion, and there's the delt, and then of course the pec structure, the shoulder structure, and the head will look something like that from this pretty much extreme foreshortening angle. So there are a few different things that we can do with this. So one is that what I'm laying out right now. So it's like kind of like a Spider-Man like pose, where one hand is grasping the surface on the top and the other hand is like behind, and we could show it if in the sense of rock climbing that it's grasping another raised edge or a surface to hold on, and it is in the background. Now why this is important is because in certain cases it is actually a dynamic visual that can work for different pop culture purposes and for different modeling of a character in different scenarios. So I'm just putting out the surface there. Now the surface doesn't have to be straight, it could be a rocky or a jagged surface. But right now for convenience I'm just putting it as a pretty much straight out surface, which will actually accomplish our purpose here of giving this guy something to hang on to, or to have him hang off of something. Next thing that we can do is also slightly different. We can show the fingers bent forward right there, and that is a more realistic grasping pose when the fingers are actually curled, what you call stuck together, and the thumb for that very reason also joining the finger set there and showing that concentrated effort and focusing on that point to hang off of. So that is how a climbing person would normally end up, with all the key fingers and the thumb converging on that point to lend him that stability to hang on to that particular edge or that surface. And then the additional option that we have is to have both hands now extended. So both hands, as in that the right hand, as we have shown, and the left hand are both now placed right out in front, and here this character is using both hands to hang from the surface, and I'm doing those in the converging fingers. I know that I left the thumb open. You could have the thumb join the fingers, but otherwise it's okay. It just gives it a little more dynamic feel there if there's a little variation. And I just work my way back into the foreshortened arm. With the head, we can also do a very realistic thing. We can have the head, instead of looking upward, you could also have the head looking toward the surface. So I'm putting the nose right there, the cheek and the jaw structure, the ears, and the little bit of the mouth there, just for perspective says, and the eyes, so that we can see how it looks more dynamic if he is looking at the surface. Or he could always look up, but this also really works. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, keep in touch, have yourself a wonderful day.